Hi, this is Larry Silver, and this is my ofrende to my father, Paul Silver. He passed away in July of last year. It has not yet been a year. This is a makeshift altar as best as I can do, and I must admit I'm not generally that comfortable with it, being a Orthodox Jew. I'm not sure that my dad would be comfortable with it, although he would tell me to get the best grade that I could. So in my father's honor, I will honor him as best as I can. What is before us, first of all, are our basic essentials. Here is the salt, here is the bread, and here is the water. As we know, the water refreshes souls, salt purifies them, and the bread is to sustain them. And just in case one cannot see this very well, here is the salt, here is bread, and here is the water. I am burning incense. I think that's one of the things that makes me feel uncomfortable as a part of our cultural ofrende, as is the custom. Here is my candle, albeit not very well lit. See, it's trying to light, it's just not doing a very good job. And my father, one of the last times we got together, bought this rather rotund bottle of Jack Daniels, as that was a drink that he enjoyed. So this is what is left, and I have presented him an offering of his drink of choosing that he sipped rather cautiously over an extended period of time. This was a watch that my father had given to me, that his father had given to him. It's got a newer band, but it's one of the few common bonds that we do share with one another. This was a yarmulke, a kippah, as we call it in Hebrew. It is a covering, it's traditional head shroud covering, so that we are not on the same footing as God, that my father wore specifically for my son's bris. That is a celebration that we Jews have at birth. We celebrate a circumcision. Here are the last pair that I have, that I know of. They are my father's glasses that he did indeed have. This was a coveted picture of his where in 1954 he was at a very young age considered, well, he wasn't considered, he was celebrated as Ad Man of the Year. And oddly enough, his reward, among many other things, and the accolades that came along with it, was a all-expense-paid trip to Cuba, which is where my parents took their honeymoon as they were escorted out by U.S. troops. This particular picture is one of my father's favorites. I don't know how well we can see it. It is him in his serviceman's uniform out in the middle of Kansas. This was both taken for Army newspaper, as well as it made its way into front page of the local Topeka Times, I believe was the name of it. There was my father. I think he was actually just scratching his head, but it made him look so catastrophically lost out in the middle of our great lands. And finally, what we have underneath of all of this is my father's coveted prayer shawl. It is called a talis, or talit, in Hebrew, and that is what these fringes and these wonderful things are. And I will say very proudly that I am very honored that my mother bought that for my father. That is mine, and will one day go on to being my eldest son's. So you now have my ofrende.